Smash Factor.
Ripping driver, going for it. Oh my goodness. How about that tee shot?
That is crazy how far that is.
Wow. John Daly, take a back seat, big fella. How about that drive?
That's an aggressive line. That is beyond long.
Look at this. He's just driven the green. He has just driven the green.
I guess hello world, huh?
Welcome everybody to the Smash Factor. Week 1 on the 2023-2024 PGA Tour. I guess we're calling it that. It's kind of been, I don't really say, say the official season starts in January, but this isn't last season, so still not real sure how we handle that. But either way, it is the first week of the new season. Really, so far, all I can really tell, haven't dug in a whole lot as football has been king for a little while. There's no FedEx Cup points available during this this fall swing. I think you can get some exemptions, some stuff like that, earn some way to get you into certain events next, for the season if you're not already. And obviously, you can still win money, but no FedEx points will be available. We get the Ryder Cup next week. That'll be exciting. I have a tool that we've been using for, I guess it's been probably 6 years now. For President's Cup and Ryder Cup. I can't remember the first one. It's either 2018 or 2019 when DK put out a President's Cup, Ryder Cup type deal. We crushed the President's Cup last year, so I am looking forward to that for sure. We're at the Fortinet. I always pause because of Fortnite, but Fortinet Championship out in Napa, California. Should be a good week. The pricing was a little interesting. I'm looking forward to it. Always enjoy golf, even though it's a busy time with football going on. Leverage to be having in the fall swing, as most people don't pay a lot of attention. Probably just focus on maybe a 1 to 3 max type build. Get their lineup in and be done with it. So, I think there's a lot of leverage you can be had if you dig in. We found people like Willie Z and Cam Young, guys like that during this time that maybe didn't pay off for us then, but knowing about them, kind of watching them, and then we hit January, February when the big contests are back out. And these contests this week aren't that bad at all, but, it's only focusing on golf, DK especially. Those guys, are still, we had it several times this year when I was looking back to last year, where Cam Young, he was dock of the week at like 6,700 and 1%, and Willie Z's been there too, stuff like that. So I enjoy it. The process is still there. I'm ready to go. If you want to join now, we had 30% off going NFL 30 because I didn't really forget. I was going to end it last night. That was the original deal. I'm going to go ahead and put it on through Thursday Night Football, since the guys out there who may be tuning in for golf, coming back, maybe only play golf. If you'd like to join us right now, use that NFL 30% off for life. Includes a 7-day risk-free trial. We are spending a lot of time over the next 3 months making kind of, I don't want to say our final, but we built the new site, year and a half ago, 2 years ago. We built the new NFL tools. We built the new golf tools. We've launched all the new golf tools and stuff this year, kind of around right leading up to the Masters. And then we've just kind of done a little bit at a time throughout the summer and all that. We have a massive amount of updates we're going to do for the launch in January. So I'm excited for that. Everything's still up there for now that we have. You can come check out some football. We've been killing college football, not only in the DK world, DFS world, but betting. Last week went 3-3, but still made money because my 3-star and 2-star won. 3-star won easily 2 weeks in a row on Colorado. I think that puts us at like 13-9 or something like that on the season, with 1 3-star and 2 2-stars hitting. So that's good. NFL, we go 3-3, but the 2-star last night covers with the Jets plus 2.5 to give us a little profit to start off NFL. I'll take that. A little bit of luck there, but man, you tell me they cover without Rodgers. I'm pretty proud of that. The defense is legit. Allen continues to turn the ball over. I still don't have him in that higher tier of quarterbacks. I get, a lot of people come at me when I say that, but dude's averaging 2 turnovers a game over the last 19 games, I think. So what I saw last night. So He's good. He's there, but man, he's got to work on that kind of stuff, or it's going to cost him. And not that last night was a big game, but you certainly don't want to lose to a Aaron Rodgers-less Jets to kick off your season, being a division foe and all. But good bets going on. College football, we're killing it. We're still going to do golf all fall. Ryder Cup will be a blast next week. You join now and you get that free week. You get to see the Ryder Cup tool that it's already built. I say update it. It works for Ryder and President's Cup. I just have to make tweaks because the formats are a little different on both, where it's, best ball, alternate shot, stuff like that. It'll be ready to go. And I mean, we just crushed that event using that. I mean, you still have to make the right picks and do all that stuff, but it does make it a lot easier for you to kind of plan out and stuff like that. Now let's get kicked off to what you're here for. This will be short. This is my lunch break on Tuesday. I got to take Mama up to the airport. She has a work conference the rest of the week. So I will be solo dadding it while trying to get y'all golf taken care of, NFL taken care of, and then chiming in on college football when I can. So busy week ahead for me. My real job is, just absolutely crushing right now as well. Super busy there. So if you do need to get a hold of me, if you are a member, the best way to do it is in Slack, because I do not go look at the message until I know I can look at it and respond properly and stuff like that. So it never goes away until I actually look at it. Twitter's good too. Sometimes I forget to do that because I always want to get to the premium members first. So if you have questions or something comes up, especially crunch time, Sunday morning on NFL or even Saturday morning college football, stuff like that, hit me up in the Slack DM and I'll take care of you there. Silverado Country Club North Course, par 72, 7,200 yards, par 5s, very gettable and scoreable. That's where most of the scoring is done here. Fairway hit is smaller than average. Different type of guys have won here. We've seen Cam Champ, Griot, Sink, and Sink can put it out there, but, some runner-ups, Finau, Kokrak, our boy Stephen Bowditch back in the day, 2014. Jonas Blix won here. Was that this course? That may not be this course. Let me think. I think this course is. I know it's been at this course since when Steele won it, so we'll go at least. No, I think Rio won it here too. So I think 2015, but I'm not. I'll double check that for the articles and stuff. But I know Steele won it here. Tway, Homa's won it back to back. McNeely runner-up, Higgs runner-up, so all different kind of guys. Even if you miss the fairway, you still need to have some distance, but you can pound the fairways all day long, not necessarily need the distance, get on the greens, probably fast and firm again this year, similar to last year, being not a lot of rain there in the last several weeks and no rain in the forecast this week. Weather looks perfect. Bent greens, some may say a little Poa mix. I'm going off bent when it comes to looking at putting. They roll pure when you look at some of the quotes and stuff from prior years. I keep those in my log as I, revamp everything back up each season. We get a full field. So we get, 156 guys, not star-studded by any means, but there are some here. And a pretty good little balanced build. A balanced pricing with the way the names are. I really don't mind how DraftKings did this field at all. Like I said, weather's going to be fine. Cut. Normally around -2, maybe -3, depending on scoring conditions. Winner, I'm going to go right around that 17, 18 number. We have seen around the green come into play a little bit when you get these greens firm, roll off, stuff like that. So I've added that in a little more than I have in the past. Course history, I put it in. It's probably just about average. I always take a little bit of eye when I see multiple guys have won here multiple times, because it kind of gives me a little bit like, well, if you're good here, Steele's won twice, Holmes won twice, stuff like that. But there are a lot of guys that have top 10, top 20, top 5 that miscut, or 3 miscuts, 3 top 30s, so it's not the end all be all. I have it about average ranking this week. And then of course we'll look at recent stats. A little bit downplay on that because none of these guys have played. Some of them haven't played in weeks because they didn't make the FedEx Cup, and some even if they did or made it maybe to the BMW, which I think I counted there's like 9 or 10 only. So the majority haven't played on the PGA Tour at least in close to a month. So it still matters to an extent. That's all we have to go by. So that's how I'm handling it this week. Stats I am looking at: good drives, par 5 DK scoring, birdie or better, and good approach, opportunities to set 18 feet, and stroke gain irons. Let me get back over to the screen. 20 guys haven't seen this course since 2017. I was kind of surprised by that because normally we see a lot of new faces, and there are some here, but 100, so a majority of these guys have at least played this once in the last 6 years. So, and that helps too because you get a little bit of familiarity with how they've done here. Salary ranges: 4 in the 10K, 7 in the 9K, 11 in the 8K, 45 in the 7K, 88 in the 6K. So you still get 133 of the 156 are 7,900 and below. I like the pricing. Homa, we'll see. That's going to be an interesting thing. That'll probably be the biggest thing. Obviously content is less at this time of the year, which also goes back to what I said at the beginning of the pod. It gives us some of our advantages. It does make ownership difficult at times, but does Homa coming in, riding high, back-to-back winner here, you still get the ownership over like a JT who's your casual, I would say, would click a JT first. We got the Ryder Cup next week. So these guys that are playing that, which I think it would only be JT and Homa. Is that on Homa's mind? I don't know. We'll get to that here in a little bit, but I don't hate the pricing at all, how they did it. I think it leads to, you can go several different ways. You can fade all the 10K, go down. You could pick, 2 guys, 9K and up, and build kind of hybrid balance. I think you could almost fade all of the 10 and 9K if you wanted to and go super balanced. Probably leaving a little too much equity out there, but again, we're not talking about, we got Putnam, Todd, Spawn, Noren, these kind of guys in the 9K range, not, Rory, Fowler, Rahm, those kind of guys, which those guys will be in the 10K, but still your quality is a little bit different in the gap. And that's one of the biggest things we harp on in the fall swing, especially, is the gap between, because DraftKings has to price these a certain way to make the algorithms work, right? That's how any of this stuff works, no matter what sport you're talking about. But, so they can't, I guess they could, they just never do, a bunch of guys just all around one price, right? Like they couldn't just make, if they wanted to, maybe they could think about it is a lot more 8K and a lot more 6K if you truly have that gap, versus here they may not have it. You make it a lot tighter. They tend to stick with the same kind of pricing model. We saw them flirt with a couple things this past year. We'll see if they bring that back when the big boys return in January. But as it just stands here, I like the pricing. I think you can build several different ways. It really leads to, you can kind of get committed to a few different builds and kind of see where we think ownership looks, 24 hours, 36 hours from now, and be ready to pivot either way. Especially, I know a lot of people, when we did surveys and stuff like that, really focus on probably 1 to 3 builds at this time of the year. Not only because they just don't put a lot of time into it, but also bankroll manager, right? They want to have money for college football, especially in our community. They want to have money for NFL, showdown, stuff like that. So kick it off, Sweet 16, same format as always. I'll give you 3 that I like in a bubble boy in each salary range: a fade of the week, a sleeper of the week, gut feel play of the week. I got 4 of those. Some betting stuff provided by Underdog and Prize Picks. And then we'll wrap it up and get out of here. Keep it short and sweet during the fall swing. 9K and above. I like Cam Davis. I always like him. I play him a lot. Definitely think his game's maturing a little bit. 7th at Wyndham, 6th at St. Jude, 40th at BMW. So coming in with some good momentum at the end of last year. 2 made cuts, 2 missed cuts here, a 17th to 36th. And then, of course, the 2 missed cuts, like I just mentioned. Putting, he's about mid pack of the field. 5th in par 5 DK scoring, which is huge for him. 26th in opportunities at 18 feet. 19th in irons, which is a combo of approach and around the green. So all in all, especially with the price, kind of feels a little high. But again, I talk about this, I've been talking about it for years since the start of this. These tournaments, these next, whatever there are, 7 of them, not counting the Ryder Cup. Of course, we all know about that one, but you got to get past the sticker shock and just go, it's all relative to the field, and move forward with it. I'm cool with him. Don't mind him at all. I think he'll probably be owned, but I do still think, Homa and these other guys around him are going to ownership that kind of leaves it, at least at worst case, spread out. Eric Cole is a guy I think that could continue to kind of be under owned. I continue to play him because he shows up and plays well almost everywhere. the upside's there. Sometimes that's, some of the weakness is finishing. Can he get it done? 9,500, you do kind of need that, top 15 type number. 14th at Wyndham, 31st at St. Jude, 25th at BMW. Now remember BMW, what they have there, I can't remember how we did it this year, 70, 50, 30. So mid-pack at BMW, still not horrible. He's with the best players in the world at that time. Played here last year, did miss the cut, but at least he's seen the course. Second birdie or better, 8th in opportunities inside at 18 feet, 18th in par 5 DK scoring, 13th in irons. Those 4 are probably my 4 big ones this week, and I love that. And he's 5th in putting. So we got good birdie or better, good par 5. Man, I hope he kind of gets overlooked at 9,500 because I do like him a lot this week. Jaeger, a guy, kind of a staple I always play. 10-2 probably looks a little funny because we're used to playing him like 7,800, 8,200, stuff like that in the big boy fields. But he's played here 4 times, another 2 made cuts, 2 missed cuts, 14th at Wyndham, 20th at St. Jude. I like how he finished the season. 2nd in par 5 DK, 7th in birdie or better, 4th in irons. I love all that. 28th in putting. I like Jaeger this week. My bubble boy is going to be JT. I want to kind of just what pulse we can get, scroll on Twitter and all that kind of stuff. I know podcasts will be a little less than, the main season, but do we get that? I have a feeling JT and Homa will wind up being a lot closer in ownership than what we may think originally, because I think what will be come tomorrow afternoon, people that are doing your live shows and doing all that kind of stuff, Homa's going to get ownership. Everybody's going to pass on JT. He's not doing well. He shouldn't have been in the Ryder Cup, blah, blah, blah. And people move to him thinking that, come off of Homa a little bit, save the money. Homa's won back-to-back. He's going to be focused on his first Ryder Cup ball, all that kind of stuff. And all that together, brings him a lot closer. Now, I would much rather play JT. I just think personally that's a better play, especially cheaper. Certainly hard to win 3 times in a row anywhere unless your name's not Tiger. So, and another thing with Homa, the first 2 times he played here, a 60th and a 62nd. Now he's made the cut all 4 times, 2 wins. He's coming in with a 6th, a 5th, and a 9th. So he on paper looks like absolutely he's priced right if you want to move on it. And coming off of last year, which was difficult betting wise because so many of those top guys paid off, right? But in the same sense, those guys paid off in DraftKings, where if you didn't have them, it was like unlike any year I've ever seen in doing this since 2015 now. And I started my own stuff in 2017. So I'm going on 7 years in January, but I do a lot of, between now and January, I do a lot of, regression analysis, stuff like that. Go back and look at everything that I made notes of post tournament, and just generalize the whole season to kind of see, is it pricing from DK? Is it, the industry getting sharper? How do we adjust and get a little bit of an edge heading into next year? These still count for sure, but it just gives me time to kind of go over that. And just some of the stuff that, it gravitated to, the good plays are the good plays. It is a little more difficult in golf, like compared to football. We're doing football right now. A lot of people eat chalk fairly, and just make 1 or 2 small pivots, where golf, and I'm talking 30, 40% at sometimes, but in golf, we have 156 guys or whatever it is most times. There's so many low owned that, maybe we get too cute at times on not playing enough of the good plays. Now that's a small, theory that I'm working on over the next 2.5 months as I look at all the stuff, and it may wind up being all anecdotal. It doesn't really matter. You take it week to week, which is generally what I do. But, I do think some of that learning from, other games, other situations will certainly help us in that as people get sharper, the industry gets sharper. How do you make those subtle moves to get a little bit different? 8K range, I like Gim, 8,000 even. Really comes down to the putter for him. He's got a 14th, a missed cut, and a 72nd here. Tee to green here, he's been really, really solid. Putters let him down at times. 51st at Wyndham. Stat-wise, he's number 1 for me this week. 3rd in irons, 1st in opportunities, inside 18 feet, 5th in approach, 1st in birdie or better, 13th in par 5 DK scoring, 18th in good drive. So 18th or better with 4 top 5s in the 6 major things I'm looking at. He's 90th in putting in the field. So it really just comes down to that. I don't mind taking a chance on it. Definitely at that price. He doesn't have to win. So if he can get a top 20 with upside, I certainly like that, especially he's number 1 in birdie or better. So maybe he gets some bogeys here or there, misses a putt, but he scores a lot. It really pays off. Top 10 DK scoring, but finishes 22nd. I'll take that. Hubbard, 8,300. Kind of turned it on at times towards the end of the season. Up and down for sure. He generally is always like that. Played here 4 times, 3 made cuts, 3 top 21st, and a miscut. So 21st, 16th, miscut 13th. I like that. 2nd in irons, 15th in birdie or better, 34th in putting. So a good overall mixture of the game. Not as solid as Gim to me, but at the price, I still like enough there, to have some shares of him. If it do an MME, don't know if he makes a core for sure. Strillman, 8,000. Probably not a guy I thought I would say, like, if just going into the week, but where is he? I just lost his name. 1 second. Oh, okay. Shoot. He went up. That's why. Another one, pretty good history here. A 13th, a 25th, a miscut, a 3rd, and a 59th. First in irons. Stats are just okay. He's 30th in the field, but 5th in recent form. I know that's downplayed at this time of the year. 15th in course fit. Putting's just neutral. Right around mid-pack, almost to identical. The history here is enough. At that price, I like him. Player pool probably be a little tight this week, but I still want to keep the same format, of 3 and a fade. So some of these are a little bit of a reach, but I don't mind them at 8K. Bubble Boy for me is Reavy. And really only comes down to, does he get ownership? I don't think the 8K in general will. It was one of the zones last year that got avoided the most, just the way pricing was at times. But a 13th, a 33rd, a 33rd, a 3rd, and a 28th. And then his first miscut since 2018 was last year. 27th at the Wyndham. 7th in irons, 2nd in opportunities inside 18 feet. Other stats are just mid-pack. We know the driving's not going to be up there, but accurate-wise, he's okay. Putting, he's 20th. Course fit 3rd. Just overall solid at that price. I don't think anybody gets chalky. I just had to have only reason why potential bubble boy is if ownership creeped up too much, but I don't expect it. 7K, Peter Quest. Used him, quite a bit there those last 6-8 weeks when he was in the field. Showed some highs, definitely, not all around game. He definitely needs work, but rates out pretty well. 6th in putting, 7th in approach, 3rd in birdie or better, 20th in par 5 DK scoring, 21st in good drives. $7,900. I like his upside. I like some of the flash we saw. I don't mind going there. Davis Thompson. Could be close to a bubble boy on that. He could get talked up. He's got the he's one of those pedigree guys I play more than even times when stats shows to, but he's actually showing fairly decent right now. 22nd at the Wyndham, 9th here last year, 1st in par 5 DK scoring, and then 28th, 31st, 47th in the other stats that I really care about. Not horrible, not way up there, but again, $7,900. I don't mind that. Mid-pack putting as well, 79th, so a little worse than mid-pack, but I don't mind it for $7,900. Higo, he's kind of like a flash in the pan at times. Rates out well. Around the green, probably could be a little concern. Did miss a cut last year. It's the only time he played here. But 7th in good drives, 9th in par 5 DK scoring, 2nd in good approach, 13th in opportunities at 18 feet. I like all that. $7,700, probably a little lower owned type guy. I don't think he get talked about too much this week, so I don't mind him. Dylan Wu was a guy we played a ton. He was doc of the week several times towards the end of the season. Priced up a little bit here, $7,600. Maybe he continues kind of getting some ownership. 8th at par 5 DK, 8th at birdie or better. 51st at Wyndham, which we know is not as great because I think that that was a full field. St. Jude was the first FedEx. He's got a miscut and a 47th there. So, but I do think he's coming in some of the better form of his career. He's 3rd in putting too, so I like that a lot. Not that putting's in all be all, but to go with the other stats that we saw at the price, he's got the upside, right? He's seen the course twice. He's made a cut. Now we do need a top 20, top 25. But he is a bubble boy for me. 6K range, not a ton down here that I like. Some guys I'll take some chances on. Redmond, obviously doc of the week was named after him, but 6,800. Hit or miss here, but when he's missed, it's really not been, it's been more of the putting. Miscut, a 3rd, miscut. So But if the putting can come around, I think he can flash. We know he could score. He's another guy. I don't want to say like Cam Davis because he's not there yet, not steady enough, but he can outscore his position very well. So he can finish a T40th and be in top 20 DK scoring sometimes. Stat wise, he's pretty much just top third or, across all of them. Nothing super good. 24th in opportunity side 18 feet, but recent form just 49th. But at 6,800, again, if I'm dropping down here, I like the upside. I don't mind going there for the price, and we know he can score if he gets hot. Knox, $6,800. Not a guy I normally play, but rates out pretty well overall. Missed a cut in 2019, then a 9th, a 58th, and a 25th. So 3 straight made cuts with a top 10 upside. I like that for $6,800. Stats are just going to look average, a little bit above average, 60th overall. Recent form 21st. So there's enough there at that price. If I really want to go down there, I don't mind going to Russell Knox this week. Trevor Cone showed some upside. Popped in some models at times, didn't want to believe it per se, but he still, at times has looked really good. Now, again, he's 6,700, so there's not much, we're not expecting a world beater here, but 6th in good drives, limited stats on him though, 13th in birdie or better, 1st in good approach. I like all that. 23rd in par 5 DK scoring. He did play here last year, missed the cut, but he played here, so I don't mind that. He's seen the course, somewhat familiar with it. That's always good. At his price, again, I may not drop down to get more than 4, 5, 6K guys. And that's if I do MME this week. I hadn't decided yet, but he's a name that I wanted to throw out there. Summer Hayes, probably will get talked about. He's kind of one of them. I have another one for sleeper of the week that I think maybe not as hot as him right now. He obviously, did really well at the Walker Cup, college stud, got all the pedigree in the world. I imagine he gets talked up normally, but in years past, this would be a guy that we could get on at, not very much percentage, especially this time of the year. With him, I do think some people will go there, but I still don't mind him. But if he's going to be low owned or not many people mention him, I do like him a lot. But, that's why he's a bubble boy. I want to see how many people bring his name up. Fade of the week, there's several that I don't mind getting off of. Max right now would be it. I do want to see where the Max JT comes about. Just because of the pricing and everything, man, he's got a top 5, right? I don't say you have to, but more likely than not, we need a top 5 for him to pay off. And it's just tough. Now he's coming in playing super great and he could do it again. You do wonder if he, starts off bad or something like that. Does he just start focusing on, let me get my game, he's in a different place than he's ever been, at this time in his career where he's, what is he? He's got to be top 10 in the OWGR, I'd imagine, overall. And, prime to have a really, really, really solid year last year. Yeah, he's 7th overall in the world. Coming up with the Ryder Cup, that's a big deal to him. And he's had a kid, right? This offseason. I mean, not recently, but it's just hard at the price to do that. Do I get there still? Maybe. If JT was going to be 25% and home of 15, that's a play I may look at. If it's flipped, I kind of like JT. I like JT better, for sure. We'll see how the next 36 hours go. But but like Degali, he just never rates out super great, but man, he gets it done over and over. I can see him getting some ownership and maybe move off of him at 9,400. Brendan Todd, I hardly get on at 9,400. I'm sorry, Theegala was 98, Brendan Todd 94. So there's some priced up guys here that, Putnam 91, coming in really good form, but his finishes here, they're just okay. 30th, 36th, 30th, 43rd. Not a ton of upside there. A lot of putter lately. So for 9,100, I mean, those kind of guys, but I don't know that they get a lot of ownership. So I wanted to give you someone, that I may be off of that's going to garner its ownership. And it may be like Theegala or Homa. Maybe I play Homa and JT and fade most of the 9K range in general. That paid off a lot last year. It wasn't Homa and JT. It was, Scheffler and Rory or someone like that, Rahm. But, maybe that's the way we go by the time we get to tomorrow evening. My sleeper of the week is Devon Bling. So he's a UCLA stud. He's priced, I think 6,600. Done really well. Let me I had it pulled up and I just got off of it because of Max. He's the guy that I think we could get leverage on the field. It may be a great pivot off of Summer Hayes. Now, is he got the pedigree? He was a stud at UCLA. I mean, he was good there multiple times. I mean, really good there. He's been playing on the Canadian Tour pretty much for a while. But, you know, and he's been playing recently. Now, a 54th and a missed cut his last 2 weeks, but before that, a 13th, a second, a 12th, a 23rd, an 8th. So, again, it's Canadian Tour. I get it. But with the pedigree that he had playing in college and all that, you know, he was a name I just have penciled in. Keep an eye on him. You know, hint, maybe he becomes Doc of the Week this week. You know, I don't know, but I do like him. I don't know if anybody will ever mention him. And I think Summer Hayes is the much more people will go to, but you know, maybe you play both. Maybe you play both. No, you know, you can still do that, but I do like him this week. Some gut feel plays like Palmer, 7,500. Just for him to be here, I don't think he's ever played here. I know he hadn't played here since 2018. You know, maybe he's trying to get his game right. Let me get, you know, he's not getting FedEx Cup points. Let me get what I got to get. Stat-wise, he's just great. I mean, he just sucks putting right now. Just terrible. 133rd in the field. Overall, third in stats for me. You know, 10th in good approach, 26th in birdie or better, number 1 in good drives. Talent's there. Obviously getting a little older, but for that price, I don't mind him. Gut feel play, you know. Grayson Sigg, 7,400. Austin Eckroat, that's another talent play, 7,800. He flirted around some leaderboards, you know, there at the, you know, summertime level. Maybe not as strong, but this isn't a strong field either. I like that. Nick Hardy, another guy we, you know, kind of like Eckroat. Flirted a lot up top. We saw his name. 49th at St. Jude, 27th at Wyndham. He's made 2 straight cuts here. His only 2 times playing it. I don't mind that at 8,200 either. Betting top 5 to pop and 2 long shots provided by Underdog and Price Pick. Link is in the description. Dollar for dollar match up to $100. Use the code GUP, G-U-P. I put out Prize Picks for I can't remember if they did the fall swing last year. If they have them for fall swing, I'll do them for golf as well. Certainly we'll have them. You know, we talk about them for NFL. I give them on the NFL podcast that I put out typically Thursdays, sometime Friday, depending on how the week's going. And then Underdog, obviously we do a bunch of best ball over there. I think some of these, they may have a reboot Best Buy or Best Ball. They have another deal I talked about on the NFL pod. I'll get the name of it. It looks really cool. You know, a qualifier type event, you know, for the end of the year that they have going. You can go check it out. Again, you can use that code on one or both. Doesn't matter. Price Picks I'll have out for golf if they have them. I have them out during the regular season every Wednesday on the podcast, and then I put them out nightly for Showdown and stuff like that. My top 5 I like right now: Gim, 55-1. Thompson, 50. Higo, 50. Dylan Wu, 75. Cam Davis up top, or maybe Jaeger, one of those two. They're both flirting around 25-1. If I was going to go that high on the board, those would be the two that catch my eye. Some long shots. Carson Young, that's another guy I didn't mention, up above in DK, but I don't mind him. At times we were saying the real C Young on the leaderboard. And then Palmer, 100-1. Those are guys I don't mind. A little lighter on betting and stuff like that during the fall swing. Mainly because we got some unknowns, and then just bankroll management, right? I put a lot of time into NFL and college betting and stuff like that. So I want to be cognizant of people's bankroll as well. You know, I don't want to put out a bunch of golf plus a bunch of football, all that kind of stuff. But I do put out a betting card as well for the fall swing events. I'll have that out tomorrow per usual. Obviously, no one and done in the fall. If there is, I don't really pay attention to it. That'll be back. We'll have those again once January kicks off. Don't forget, like I said, through Thursday night, NFL football, NFL 30 equals 30% off. You can hop in now, you get a 7-day risk-free trial. Wait till tomorrow morning if you really want to. Hop in then you'll get Thursday night football. You know, we have Ryan covers all the showdowns for us. We talk it up in Slack. You'll get all the college football slates. Normally if it's a big showdown, we'll do the college football. He will. And then, you know, the 3-4 game or bigger, and obviously the big 13-14 gamer on Saturday, we do all the college football there. You get all my NFL stuff. Then you get all the, you know, Ryder Cup stuff next week, which is really a lot more about strategy and thinking through, you know, how to best set yourself up. And the tool that I put out there for the community helps out a lot on that. So I'm excited for it all. Kick off some golf this week. See if we can get, I like watching the young guys too. I like watching some of the guys that caught fire late in the season. You know, what's their upside? I don't want to say time to shine, but they can get their game going. Get some money for them, set themselves up. Normally we talk about, hey, some of these guys can really set themselves up because they could get enough FedEx Cup points to get, and we saw that, right? We saw a lot of guys that were in the top 70 where a lot of their work was done in the fall swing, which is why some of the powers that be wanted the fall swing not to count as much because it really forced you to play or get way behind, which I think is fair. But I do think overall it's going to be good. We're still going to be able to make money. So far, this week's was good on the contest. I imagine the Ryder Cup will be good. So we'll see how that rolls, and looking forward to it. Hit me up on Twitter if you have any questions about the membership or support@gupscorner.com. If you're in the Slack, you can DM me. Maybe you want to upgrade, check out all the tools and all that. If you're just a normal member, you get a loyalty discount. Hit me up. I'll get that for you as well. Hope you guys have a great rest of your Tuesday. I will try to drop this by early evening, late afternoon. Just depends on what time I got to wind up taking Mama Gup to the airport. Hope you guys have a good Tuesday. We'll talk to you soon.